Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every life where silence becomes heavier than words, where the distance between where you are and where you know you were born to be becomes unbearable, and you feel the weight of a promise you once made to yourself. Have you ever sat alone, perhaps in the quiet of the night or in the stillness of the morning, and heard the echo of your own heart reminding you of the life you once dreamed? That whisper that says, "Don't forget me. Don't forget the life you promised to yourself." You see, that voice is not fantasy. It is not an illusion. It is the truest part of you trying to get your attention. It is destiny knocking on the door of your conscience. You were not born to simply pay bills and die. You were not sent here to blend in with the furniture of existence. You are an idea wrapped in flesh, conceived in the mind of God, sent to this earth as a solution to a problem. And the tragedy of life is not death. The tragedy of life is to live and never become the person you were destined to be. That is why I must remind you, don't forget the life you promised to yourself. Because if you forget it, if you bury it, if you let it be suffocated by fear, by doubt, by the opinions of others, you will walk this earth alive yet unfulfilled, breathing yet not living, existing yet not thriving. Now hear me carefully. Every child is born with dreams, but somewhere along the way, the dreams of children become the doubts of adults. Somewhere along the journey, the purity of vision becomes contaminated by the fear of failure. When you were young, you saw no limits. You believed you could be an astronaut, a doctor, a leader, an inventor. But as you grew older, life began to whisper another story. You can't. You're not smart enough. You're too old. You're too young. It's too late. It's impossible. And slowly, piece by piece, you began to shrink the size of your promise. But deep down, you know the truth. That vision never left you. It is still alive, buried but breathing, hidden but not dead. And I came to remind you today that the greatest tragedy would be to leave this earth with that promise still locked inside you. So let me ask you, what did you see when you were young? What did you tell yourself you would become? What life did you envision? Because until you confront that question, you will forever live beneath your privileges. Don't forget the life you promised to yourself when no one else was watching. Don't forget the fire that once burned in your eyes. Don't forget that moment when you said, "One day I will build, I will create, I will achieve." That was not a lie. That was your soul telling you who you really are. But the problem is this: life distracts, life complicates, life intimidates. And if you are not careful, life will seduce you into mediocrity. You will begin to settle for less than you deserve, not because you cannot have more, but because you stopped demanding more from yourself. Settling is the death of destiny. To settle is to betray your own promise. And some of you listening right now, you have settled for relationships that suffocate you, jobs that drain you, environments that shrink you, simply because it is comfortable. But let me tell you something. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Comfort is the graveyard of vision. Comfort will keep you safe, but it will also keep you small. Don't forget the life you promised to yourself because you traded it for comfort. And here is the secret. God never consults your present circumstances to decide your future. He never looks at your bank account to determine what He placed in your spirit. He never looks at your failures to cancel His promise. You may have made mistakes. You may have failed. You may have fallen. But that does not change the fact that there is a vision assigned to your name. Failure is not fatal, and mistakes are not final unless you allow them to bury your promise. Don't forget the life you promised to yourself just because life got hard. Difficulty is not denial. Delay is not defeat. Setbacks are setups for comebacks. Do you realize that the wealthiest place on earth is not the diamond mines of South Africa? It is not the oil fields of the Middle East. It is not the gold of the Amazon basin. The wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard. Why? Because buried in the graveyard are books never written, Songs never sung, businesses never started, ideas never acted upon, inventions never created, visions never manifested. Men and women took their promises to the grave because they forgot the life they once told themselves they would live. Don't you dare add to that cemetery. Don't you dare bury your promise in the soil of procrastination and fear. The graveyard is already too rich. Don't let it inherit your treasure. You must understand something. Potential is not what you have done. Potential is what you could do, but haven't done yet. Potential is everything you are, but have not yet manifested. And
Do you know why your vision keeps haunting you? Do you know why you can't shake that dream even after years of ignoring it? Because vision does not die. Promise does not evaporate. Destiny does not expire. You can bury it under jobs, under responsibilities, under excuses, but eventually it will resurface. That's why you still feel restless. That's why no amount of money can fill the void. That's why success without purpose feels empty, because you cannot outrun yourself. And until you embrace the life you promised to yourself, you will always feel incomplete. Now let me give you a warning. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes. Time is life, and life is time. Every day you waste is a piece of destiny you will never get back. Don't wait until you are too weak to pursue it. Don't wait until your energy is gone. Don't wait until your opportunity passes. The clock is ticking. The graveyard is filling. And life is short. The question is not whether you will die. The question is whether you will ever live. Don't forget the life you promised to yourself, because the saddest thing is not to die young. The saddest thing is to live long and never live at all. And I can hear some of you saying, "But you don't understand my situation. You don't know what I've been through." You're right, I don't. But I do know this. There has never been a great destiny without great opposition. Pressure produces diamonds. Fire refines gold. Struggle strengthens character. Every problem is proof that there is potential in you to overcome it. If you had no promise, life would not fight you this hard. The fact that it has been difficult is proof that there is something valuable inside you. Don't forget the life you promised to yourself just because the journey is rough. The rough road leads to the highest mountains. Hear me. Everything you need to become who you were meant to be is already inside of you. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need validation. All you need is the courage to believe in what God already placed within you. You are already equipped. You are already qualified. You are already enough. Stop waiting for someone to tell you to start. Start now. Step out now. Move now. Because destiny does not wait for the hesitant, it rewards the bold. Don't forget the life you promised to yourself, because you are waiting for the approval of people who don't even believe in themselves. Your family may not understand. Your friends may not support you. The world may mock you. But that is irrelevant. Vision is personal. Promise is individual. They were not in the room when God whispered it to your soul. They did not hear the conversation between your spirit and your Creator. So they don't have to understand it. They don't have to approve of it. They don't have to agree with it. You owe them no explanation. You owe yourself obedience to your vision. Don't forget the life you promised to yourself, because others cannot see what you see. And so I stand here as a reminder, as a voice crying out to your potential, as an alarm clock waking up your destiny. Don't forget. Don't forget the passion that once burned in you. Don't forget the dreams you wrote in secret. Don't forget the goals you set when you were inspired. Don't forget the vision that made you cry. Don't forget the promise you whispered to yourself when you were young. That promise is still valid. That promise is still alive. That promise is still waiting on you. And let me tell you the truth. Life will test you. Vision will cost you. Purpose will stretch you. But at the end of the day, the pain of discipline is always lighter than the pain of regret. It is better to try and fail than to die wondering what could have been. It is better to step out and risk than to settle and rot. Regret is the heaviest burden a human being can carry, and it is the burden of forgetting the life you promised to yourself. So, rise up, shake off the dust, refuse to settle, refuse to shrink, refuse to die without living. Your future is not behind you, it is in front of you. Your best days are not yesterday, they are ahead of you. Your promise is not expired, it is waiting. But it won't wait forever. Act now, move now, believe now, begin now. Because the greatest insult to your potential is delay. As I close, let me leave you with this final thought. When you come to the end of your life and you stand before your Creator, He will not ask you why you were not someone else. He will ask you why you were not yourself. He will ask you what you did with the life you promised to yourself. And in that moment, may you not say, I was afraid, I settled, I forgot. May you say, I lived, I poured out, I became everything you created me to be. That, my friend, is success. Don't forget the life you promised to yourself. Don't bury it. Don't silence it. Don't betray it. Live it. Fight for it. Sacrifice for it. Pursue it with everything in you. Because the world is waiting. Your destiny is